Hello everyone, and welcome back to Steins linear-bounded Phenogram. I'm G, and we are Nai. We are in one of the Alpha World lines where Yugo Tanoji has been dead for a while, and Daru is trying to get the time leap machine working. Or, is that the time leap machine or the D-mail? I'm not quite sure. But either way, Nai is living with the Akihas, and let's just get started. I'm back. I got home pretty late. It had been a busy late. This might actually be the first time I've gotten home this late since I started living at the Akiha household. Daru said he'll be sleeping over in the lab for a while. I'm worried that the agents will find him, but after he mentioned how hard it would be to fit through that tiny window again, I agreed to leave him there. Nai-chan, you're home late. Anchikane greets me. Uncle Yukitaka's still at work, though. Yeah, I'm sorry. The uniform is really dirty. It's fine. Oh, well, let me know if you want it cleaned. Dinner's ready, so go change your clothes. Okay. Normally we'd have already finished eating dinner by now. Anchikane must have waited for me to come home. Feeling bad, I hurried to change my clothes. My uniform is dirtier than I thought. Nai, can I come in, yeah? Sure. It's Rumiho. Welcome home, yeah? It's pretty late. Yeah. Rumiho is different. She always wears a cat ear hairband and sticks nyas and yans at the end of things. She told me before that she's been in character ever since becoming the Rhino Access Battlers champion. I feel like that isn't a good reason to say nyan nyan all the time. I wonder if she talks like this when she's working at her company. Your hair! Huh? There's something in it, yeah? I hurriedly try to brush whatever it is out. I hope it's not a spiderweb. That'd be so gross. I want to hurry up and take a bath. Did you take a detour, yeah? Or did you have a day with a boy? Huh? No way. I wonder if people thought Daru and I were on a date when we were walking around town. That'd be awful. Then did you have tea with your friends, yeah? That's not either. I quickly turn away from Rumiho, pretending like I'm really focused on changing my clothes. I had to clean a classroom that wasn't used in a while after school. Oh! I lied. I wonder why. I see, and I was thinking about buying a cake to celebrate your day in detour, yeah? Celebrate? That'd be fun, wouldn't it? You should play and have fun more often, yeah? Rumiho. I'm always tired after practice. Yeah, I guess so, yeah. Anyway, wash your hands, yeah. Mama's waiting, yeah. Okay. After watching Rumiho leave the room, I let out a small sigh. It's impossible to lie to her. She can see through even the smallest lie. But still, it's not like Daru said I shouldn't tell anyone what I did. Besides, Rumiho was a lab mem too. She must have gotten along well with Daru, Ocarina, and the others. I guess that means I probably should have told her. So why did I decide to lie? And, oof. I slide my body through the narrow bathroom window. One wrong step would have had me falling face first into the toilet, so I have to be careful. If only I could set up some sort of safety foothold. Even something thrown together would help. I guess I should have realized how inconvenient it is to enter and exit through the bathroom. And even worse, what if Daru was on the toilet when I opened the window? I don't know what I'd do. That would be the absolute worst. I don't even want to think about it. Daru's large body is sprawled out on the sofa. I thought he was sleeping, but...
Hi, Chanchi. Did you get the stuff?
He senses my presence and quickly sits up. Yeah, is it okay? Yesterday he handed me money and asked me to buy food. It seems Daru intends to work in here for a while without leaving. Which made going shopping my job.
Thanks, you're a lifesaver. I haven't eaten anything since last night. I was so hungry I couldn't even search for porn. Was it enough money?
It's pretty much everything you gave me. I only have 7 yen in change. I tried to hand it to him.
Keep the change.
I don't want it. I want him thinking mere 7 yen is enough to make us even anyway. Put the change on top of the table.
By the way, Nai-chan, you cook?
Rumiho!
Roki actually caught a cold. He's out. He's out of action, yeah. I can't believe it. I told him to go home and rest. I never thought this would happen, yeah.
I'm worried about Kuroki. Maybe I should visit, but I also don't want to be annoying. I hope he gets well soon. Cat?
I used to, but not lately.
Oh, so you're telling me there's a chance that I get to have a middle schooler cook for me?
Not really. As usual, Daru is making a big deal over something unimportant. Then he opens up a convenience store bento and starts eating. Is he even good cold?
Alright, I'd like you to buy some other things for me.
More food already? Bought enough snacks and meals to last 2 or 3 days.
Nope, I realize that water is pretty precious in here. Plumbing's shut off after all. You stock up on water next time you go shopping?
Sure.
Also, I need things besides provisions. Things necessary to build the phone microwave.
I see. That stuff isn't gonna buy itself after all. Got it. Just tell me what I need to buy.
I think you can find most of it at parts shops around Akiba. I'm going to need some do-it-yourself hobby tools. Also,
Wait. I've been fooled. I'm at a shop for books called Dojinshi in the Otaku Holy Land of Nakano. I've never been to a place like this. I'm so embarrassed. All the customers are men. On the shelf at the back, there are tons of books lined up with pictures of girls in lewd poses. Daru's shopping list can be divided into 3 basic categories. First are parts. These can be found in Akihabara, and thanks to Daru's detailed list, I was able to buy them all without any issue. The second are do-it-yourself hobby tools. Things like saws and pliers. And the last one...
I need the Gun Barrel Rosetta book from Toranoana. It's by Circle Kishimenya, so don't get the wrong one. You have to buy 3 of them. It's not rated 18 plus, so you should be able to buy it.
thought he was pretty irresponsible making me buy Dojinshi at a time like this. I didn't want him to keep me from sending a D-mail because I didn't do as he asked. But now that I've made it all the way to Nakano... If it was going to be like this, I would have told him no. I shouldn't have believed him that I would be okay just because it's not porn. It's my first time visiting a store like this, so I had no idea what to expect. Even if the book Daru wants isn't pornographic, there are tons of perverted things being sold here. With all these gross books, how am I supposed to find the one he wants? I don't feel very confident. What should I do? I couldn't go any further inside. I stood right at the entrance, staring at the floor. It seems like one of the employees keeps glancing over at me. I'm a kid no matter how you look at me. I might end up being scolded for visiting a place like this. That would probably make this easier. Maybe a good reason for me to not buy Daru's books. Still, if I go back empty-handed, Daru might think that I'm useless. That'd be bad too. I don't want people to think that I'm useless just because I'm a kid. If I can't handle a little shopping, okay. I'm 100% going to buy these books and bring them back. After psyching myself up, I raise my head and head straight to the counter. I look the male employee straight in the eye, which seems to startle him. Excuse me? And my face growing bright red, but I can't worry about that now. Other customers are staring me in surprise, too, but I can't worry about that either. I'm looking for the Gunvero Rosetta book by Sir Kishimenya. You have it? I'd like 3 of them. The employee's smile is stiff. I'm sure my face is stiff too. I feel exhausted considering I only went shopping. Uncle Daru's so underhanded. He was definitely trying to tease me. Is it because I forced him to let me help? But I won't back down no matter what. I bought it.
Rumiho. Kuroki will be fine. Mama said she'd go and check up on him. If you're really worried, just tell him you're glad he's better the next time you see him, yeah.
Seriously?
When I hold out the Dojinshi, Daru looks very surprised.
I didn't think you'd actually get it, but you did. You're amazing, Nai-chan-shi. You got way more guts than I do, and so forth. Oh, by the way, was it your first time going to Tora? Could you tell me your thoughts on the place now that you've been? Eats, please.
The employees were nice.
Wait, you actually talked to the employees? That's something an introvert like me could never do. Nai-chan-shi, you're kind of scary.
Daru ignores the parts I bought for him to read over the Dojinshi.
course, yeah, he's saying weird stuff the whole time.
Oh, Haruchi's gun barrel books would definitely fetch premium prices in the future. Non-arrow stuff especially. If my predictions are correct, there'll definitely be a gun barrel anime next year. No mistake. The stuff is so legit hardcore. So hardcore it's hard to believe that it's not being broadcast in Japan already.
That, before we go any further, that's a tie-in to robotics notes, which I will be getting into at some point after all the Steins games are done. But this is set in 2019, I believe. And in robotics notes, the gun barrel anime has come out in 2020. Anyways.
To me, Daru looks like a strange animal.
Mako-chan. Night-chan, it's me, Mako. Studying for tests stinks. I think that's... I don't know what that is. I'd rather go to morning practice. Anyway, let's have a study session in the library after class tomorrow. Pretty please. So I have something to do tomorrow. Also, when I study with you, I end up teaching you the whole time. You gotta learn how to study on your own. Absolutely. Stand up for yourself.
There's nobody this weird at my school. The thought never crossed my mind 2 years ago. I didn't know he was so ridiculous. Although back then I couldn't really handle Ocarina or Daru, so I avoided talking to them. That's probably why I didn't get to know them. I knew back then that he'd be hard to deal with. You could say it's instinctual repulsion. If Daru was a friend around my age, I'd break off the friendship instantly. But it's not that bad if I look at this like fantasy. Like the white rabbit that Alice met. Maybe more like Peter Pan, who appeared at Wendy's house. That's what kind of person Uncle Daru is to me. Aren't you going to build a time machine?
I'll do it tomorrow.
Do you actually mean that? I feel like I wasted my Saturday right before tests start, no less. 2 years ago, after Dad's funeral ended, I was curled up all alone, surrounded by CRT TVs. I don't remember this part at all, but apparently I spent 2 days without eating or drinking. I was on the verge of dehydration. I just thought that Dad would come home if I stayed there, so I sat in his shop, waiting the whole time. Kept calling out for him in a quiet voice. But I eventually started to lose consciousness. I closed my eyes and everything went black. Felt as though I just kept falling and falling down a huge pit. I started to understand how Alice felt when she was falling with the white rabbit. I didn't have the strength to scream. I got really scared, thinking that I'd just keep falling and my body would be torn to pieces. Right then I heard someone calling to me. Nyan! Nai! When I opened my eyes, Rumiho was there, looking like she was about to cry. You want to come with me? Let's go, together. Rumiho took me by the hand and welcomed me into the Akiha family. I really did start working the next day, despite spending over 2 hours poring all over 16 pages of his thin doujinshi the day before. This morning when I came to the lab, a microwave. There was a small compact microwave at the back of the room. When? Is Uncle Ocarine?
No, Ocarine didn't come here. There are quite a number of Valkyrie supporters.
Valkyrie?
To put it simply, it's like a circle name. I can't tell you any more for your own safety. There are rules telling us to keep mum.
It's always hard to tell whether Daru's lying or telling the truth.
Anyway, I had these supporters bring this by first thing in the morning. It was a real pain getting it through the bathroom window without making any noise.
Parts I bought yesterday are also spread out about the room. How long will it take to make?
They can't make much noise and they can't work at night because they might see the light. And keeping those constraints in mind, I can probably pull it off in a week.
A week. That week starts tomorrow. That'll let me leave school earlier than usual, but what about studying for my tests? No, I can study through the night, if that's what it takes. I've never stayed up late for a whole week, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Is there anything you want me to do?
Anchikane.
I forgot to ask you earlier, will you be home for lunch today? If so, I'll whip up something for you. Also, next week after your tests are done, I'm going to take you out to eat something delicious. I'll be eating lunch with my friends, so I'm fine. Thanks, though. Okay.
Glad you asked. I've already got some jobs lined up for you, Nai-chan-shi.
Really? I figured he would just have me go shopping and I'd just have to sit around otherwise. I'm kind of happy to hear that.
I want you to widen the hole.
Widen the hole?
Can Can you say that again? And in a voice like you're about to cry?
Widen?
Not that part.
The hole?
Now together, please.
By hole, you mean the one on the floor over there, right?
Oh, cold shoulder KTKR.
I crouched down in the dim room and looked down through the hole in the floor. I can't see the store below. But I guess that's obvious since it doesn't pass all the way through.
This mission won't succeed unless we can get down to the Bounty Workshop. I want you to penetrate the hole, then spread it wide enough for a person to fit through. Oh, and don't make any noise while you do it.
That's why those do-it-yourself tools were necessary. I feel like it won't be possible without making noise.
Penetrate then spread, you understand? Penetrate then spread.
Why do you have to say it twice?
Something a gentleman must do. Telling someone to penetrate holes without making noise is too lewd even for me.
He's breathing heavily for some reason. Well, I was pretty good at handicrafts back in elementary school. Handicrafts better than arts anyway. Also, I can't say that I can't do it.
You just have to get it done while I'm building the phone wave.
Oh. That means there's a time limit. It needs to be done by the time Daru finishes his work. Can I even do that? No, I have to. I can't slow things down. The hole luckily avoided the steel frame of the building. If I can cut through the second floor's floorboards, the first floor's ceiling boards, and any pipes running across, I'd be able to make it downstairs. Problem is, using a saw without making noise is pretty difficult. But if I saw too slowly, I won't make any progress. I wonder if there's any trick to it. In the dim room, I look down as I quietly work.
Hey, night, Shenshi. Why are you so blank-faced all of a sudden? It's kinda scary.
True, my friends always tell me that I become expressionless when I focus. Telling the girl that she's scary? Uncle Daru's the worst. Worse still, this room is pretty hot. No, let me correct myself. It's really hot. It's good that I brought work clothes today. Not I could stand the heat if I had to work in my uniform. The sweat is still dripping off my forehead, turning into a little puddle on the floor. The windows are all kept closed to prevent the agents from seeing inside, and of course there's no air conditioning. And even if we had an air conditioner, there's no electricity to turn it on. Oh, electricity. You need power to run the time machine? Obviously, this building's power is all shut off right now. I haven't paid the electricity bill in 2 years after all. Same goes for water and gas. We don't need gas though, and we're using lots of bottled water for everything, including the toilet. Electricity is the one thing we can't do anything about. If you use a small generator like they have at festivals, it would make a ton of noise. They'd be sure to hear it from outside. Can I ask the power company to restart the electricity?
I'm not sure about that. Wouldn't a power company worker stop by if you asked them to restart the power?
Ah. That would give us away. What should we do?
Besides, you're a minor, so your guardian would have to be the one to apply.
Is that true?
And, I don't really want more people to know that I'm here.
I guess I can't ask Rumiho.
Rumiho? Who's that? Do you have an older sister or something? Does she have huge boobs? An anime voice?
You know her really well. Do you not know her real name?
Real name? Huh? What?
2 years ago she went by the name Ferris Nyan.
What? Did you say?
Daru suddenly opens his eyes wide in shock.
Ferris Ten's real name?
For some reason he starts trembling.
What? Ferris Ten doesn't have a real name. Ferris Ten is Ferris Ten. I'm afraid you've got the wrong person.
What?
Ferris Ten came from the planet Yen Yen. She's a cat-eared rhino, eternally 17 years old.
Uncle Daru, are you okay?
No problem, everything's fine. Nai-chan, remember one thing. When working in a company, sometimes fantasy is a necessary factor.
Ah.
That summer, I'd go to challenge Ferris Ten to Rhina AB matches once a week. At the time, she was an undefeated Rhina champ. She existed above the clouds and I was no match for her skills. But I was happy. Ferris Ten was my one and only lover, and she'd always make the time to accept my challenges.
Wait, you and Rumiho were lovers?
Lovers isn't a big enough word. Perhaps we could be called two hearts as one, torn apart by a tragic fate.
I didn't know. I'm shocked. It's true that Rumiho is a strange girl. Strange people probably fall for other strange people. But this does raise a few questions about her taste in men.
So what do you know about Ferris Ten, Nai-chan-shi?
I'm living at Rumiho's house.
Call her Ferris Ten.
What? No!
Your swift denial is lol worthy. Anyway, that must mean you sleep in the same bed as Ferris 10 every night. Do you swap rosaries with your big sister?
Is this some sort of joke? If it is, I should just drop this conversation. Well, this talk won't change how hot it is in here. The water in the bottle I brought has already gotten lukewarm. Tests start tomorrow. I remember most of the stuff they taught in class, but I still need to do a bit of review to get a good score. After dinner, I tried ignoring my sleepiness to study for a few hours. By the time I look at the clock, it's already after midnight. I could hardly concentrate. My grades might end up lower than they were on the spring exams. Only Daru had showed up 1 week later. I muffled my yawn. I should drink some hot tea. When I got out to the living room, Rumihyo was there. Yeah, no, you're still up. You remember that tomorrow's Monday, right, yeah? Yeah, tests start tomorrow. Studying? I couldn't focus. Well then, I'll make my special assam tea, yeah. With plenty of milk, yeah. Sounds great. Yeah, just in wing, yeah. Rumihyo happily walks off into the kitchen. After a while, she brings me hot milk tea. Here you are, madam. Thanks. Pleasant scent wafts from the cup. I don't know much about tea, but the milk tea Rumihyo makes is delicious. Hey, Rumihyo. What is it, yeah? You remember Daru? Ah, Daru, yeah. That's a nostalgic name, yeah. Back when I was playing Rhina under the name Ferris, he was my #1 fan, yeah. And he was a lab mem. But when I say those words, Rumihyo's smile takes on a note of sadness. Yeah, a lab mem, yeah. And tell me you met Daru again somewhere, yeah? No, that's not it. Did you see my eyes? I lied again. Even though there's no need to hide it. Do I not trust Rumihyo? It can't be true. I've talked to her about so many things over the past 2 years. Without her help, I would probably be living here at the Akiha house with my heart still closed off. So why did I lie to her just now? Is it because I want to be the only one able to send emails? Or am I afraid that I can't be involved anymore if I involve someone else? Darn, yeah. How nostalgic. I wonder what he's doing now. I want to challenge him again, yeah. Were you and Daru lovers? Yeah, lovers? Not at all, yeah. No? We got along well, yeah. He was a really good friend, yeah. So Daru lied to me. But why would he lie about something like that? That's pretty shocking. Also, it showed me just how sad it is to be lied to. Sorry, Rumihyo. I don't have the right to criticize Daru for what he did. Still gloomy, I drink another cup of milk tea, then go back to studying. Come on. I pull the extension cord from the bathroom. The cord reels in, coiling onto the floor like a snake.
Whoa, this is like a blessing from heaven, or maybe more like a spiderweb out of hell.
I don't like spiders. Daru plugs a cell phone charging cable into the end of the extension cord.
Yeah!
It starts charging. And I begin to wonder if this is really okay. I came here after my exams were over for the day and Daru immediately handed me this extension cord. Apparently this is the solution to the electricity issue. Several extension cords are connected together, passing through the bathroom window and plugged into the rear building. By sheer luck, the rear building's hallway had a power socket. I just went over to plug it in. He says he's just borrowing a little. But I call that stealing electricity. When I bring that up,
I'll have my sporers deal with that. It's okay, Nai-Chenshi. At the very least, it won't technically be a crime.
he says this, beaming. Even though he didn't tell me how they would deal with it. Anyway, this solves the electricity issue, probably. I slowly, carefully move the small saw up and down. No matter what I do, it still makes some sound. What's important is making that sound as quiet as possible. I'm starting to learn the tricks. Progress is so slow that it's almost disheartening, but the hole is definitely getting bigger. I started work on Sunday. Yesterday and today, once I'd finished my tests in the morning, I came straight here. Because of that, I couldn't review for my Japanese and social studies test today. Still, I think I managed to score above average on them. I've been devoting all my time to this. Seems like Daru is having a hard time on his end, too. While the power issue had been solved, the agents outside would notice if I used it too openly. Keep hearing him complain under his breath about how he can't even do tests to see if the time machine will work properly. Sounds like I'm not the one holding things back, at least. The holes will break through to the other side soon, after all. Right now, I'm sawing away at the ceiling boards on the first floor. I'd probably break through easily if I gave it a big stomp. That would make noise, so I can't. Frustrating. Faster. Hurry up. I'm getting impatient. I grit my teeth. Wipe the sweat dripping from my forehead. I continue moving the saw quietly, slowly. Then... Alright. I cut all the way through the first floor ceiling boards. I hold onto the cutout to keep it from falling. Then I hold it out to Daru, who was working off to the side. It's done!
Whoa, you work fast.
Maybe you recognize how capable I am, at least a little. I feel like smiling. Daru walks over and looks down at the hole. Even with the hole all the way through, the lower floor is pitch black and we can't see anything. The outside shutters are closed and there are no other windows, so it's only natural.
How am I supposed to get through there?
What? You wanted to get through? That's impossible. The gap is barely big enough for me to pass through.
Then are you heading down Naichenshi?
What would you want me to do?
Check to make sure the 42-inch TV turns on.
And if it does?
And your work is done.
What if it doesn't?
Then the world is screwed.
Sounds like he doesn't have any backup plan if it doesn't turn on. And honestly, I start thinking that not turning on might be for the best. I think it's just anxiety over being involved in something this big. Daru's like a person from another world. I don't know for sure that he'll even be here tomorrow. He might disappear completely, taking the time machine with him. I don't even have the courage to ask him why he lied the other day. No matter how much he lies, I have no choice but to trust him. And that makes me anxious. I'd rather be in a situation where no progress can be made without me around. I'm so selfish.
Selfish? About what?
Nothing. Never mind. Anyway, I'm the one who has to descend to the lower floor. Using a rope I bought, I slowly drop down into the store. I use a pen light to illuminate the area. Guaranteed TVs are piled up, almost touching the ceiling. I could use them as footholds, but I feel like they tumble over the moment I touch them, so I don't. Dad would always get mad at me when I tried touching the stacks of TVs.
Listen, I stacked them up really carefully, so you should never touch them. It'd be dangerous if they got unbalanced. One wrong move and you'd be buried alive under a mountain of brown tube TVs.
The store is even dustier than the floor above. I feel like coughing, but I desperately hold it back. I look around the store again. I remember all of this. It's like it's been frozen in time since 2 years ago. The store I'd always play at. Daddy's store. The chair he would always sit in is still right there. On the small table sits a newspaper from August of 2 years ago. Daddy. I feel like crying. Is it because the dust is stinging my eyes? Because I remember Daddy's face.
Here's the cord.
See Daru's face peering down from the hole above as he dangles the extension cord. I take it and walk towards the 42-inch TV at the back of the store. How weird. When I look at it now, it doesn't seem that big. 2 years ago, I didn't think you could find a TV this big in the entire world. Of course, it's still big compared to LCD TVs of the same screen size. I wonder if it's because I've grown. Or because I'm used to seeing the massive TV in the Akia family's living room. Either way, it makes me kind of sad. Thinking of these things, I plug the 42-inch TV's power cord in the extension cord socket. After a gulp, I try pressing the main power switch at the bottom of the TV. It's not turning on.
Is there a remote?
I know exactly where the 42-inch TV's remote control is kept. It's on a shelf near the chair where Dad would always sit. As always, that's where I found it. I swap in the brand batteries Daru tossed me, point at the TV and press the power button. The remote doesn't make it turn on either. Tried a few more times, but it was no good. Is it because I wished for this? I hoped that it wouldn't turn on. I shouldn't have done that. This TV is something Dad put his heart into maintaining.
Busted, huh? I had a bad feeling considering it's been left alone for 2 years.
What should we do?
There's nothing we can do. The mission is over.
Wait, it's over?
If the 42-inch TV won't turn on, it's all useless.
In panic, I shout loudly. I'll fix it!
Shh!
Ah. I hurriedly cover my mouth. Daru waves me over with his hand and lowers the rope down the hole. I climb back up to the upper floor. Back in elementary school, I was pretty good at the climbing rope in the playground. Climbing up and down a rope is easy if you know how. After waiting for me to get back up, Daru opens his mouth.
I'll say it one more time. Mission's over. I need to start withdrawing.
Me repaired. When I say this, Daru looks at me with doubt in his eyes.
Not gonna happen. TV that big won't fit through the hole or the bathroom window. And if we open the shutters to take it outside, the black-suited people will spot us. So that's out.
I don't have to take it outside. I was cleaning around the shrine earlier and saw that one striped cat I know you like. I can't remember his name, though. That's Sagat. I haven't seen him around in a while, so I was super worried. I'm glad he's okay.
Then who'll fix it?
Me.
No. I can't ask an amateur to repair a CRT TV. I hear that if you make one wrong move, you'll be electrocuted even with it unplugged.
It's fine if you discharge it first. That 42-inch TV hasn't been turned on in 2 years.
Is it something you know a lot about?
And not enthusiastically. My dad taught me a little.
Only a little?
Yeah, but that means there's at least a little chance of fixing it. I think that's better than giving up. I want to at least try fixing it as far as I'm able.
Would that be dangerous?
I don't know how much about the capacitors or the fuses, so I won't fiddle with those.
Won't fiddle with them.
But I can check the power supply and circuit boards.
Think they might be the issue?
The solder might have deteriorated and cracked. I learned how to solder during handicrafts in elementary school, and Dad taught me a bit as well. Uncle Daru had me buy a battery-powered soldering iron during the first shopping trip, so I can use that. Try resoldering the circuit boards. Soldering means adding more solder to already soldered connections. Remember Dad told me about before that degradation over time can result in cracks forming in solder. After that, I'll test again to see if it turns on. What do you think? Uncle Daru thinks for a while.
You won't do anything more than that?
I won't, or more like I can't. I honestly tell him what I'm capable of. Please let me do it. I look him straight in the eye and ask. Daru lets out a little sigh.
Did you say that line in a sweeter, more doting manner?
I don't really understand what he means, but I know that it's something perverted. I glare at him and he stands up straight and forces a smile.
They say that if you try everything you can, one by one, you'll eventually raise a flag.
Uncle Daru.
This is an ironclad aerogay strategy.
Sure.
Well, if you're not going to try anything dangerous, I think it's worth trying.
Okay, I'll do my best. I'll do whatever I can. First, I have to remove the outer cover. I use a screwdriver to remove the screws, but it's pretty tough to see them with only a pen light. The heat, stuffy air, and lack of sleep combine to dull my mind. I've been here for almost 6 hours today. Staying for too long probably isn't good. Hey, Uncle Daru, can I ask you something again? I call up to the floor above without being too loud. Why now?
What do you mean?
Daru pokes his head through the hole. It reminds me of an upside-down whack-a-mole machine. Why didn't you return to Akihabara now, of all times? Right at the start, he told me that he had been abroad. But he also said he returned to Japan half a year ago. What was he doing in that time? Why did he decide to return here in July? Before, he told me he had business to take care of, but he wouldn't tell me why it had to be now.
Have you heard rumors about the solar storm?
Solar storm?
Put simply, it's a storm of invisible magnetic energy flying from the sun. It's been a pretty big deal lately. They say the largest magnetic storm ever is coming. If something like that reached the Earth, it'd drive electronics haywire.
Does that mean they would break?
Yep, and on a global scale, the solar storm would endanger the world.
Is it really coming?
That's the question. Even specialists can't agree on that. But if it did, the damage would be unimaginable. I'm sure it would take a long time just to rebuild basic infrastructure. Which would make it a whole lot harder to successfully send email. But that's why I came to Akihabara now, just in case.
Ah. When we were talking, I finished removing all the screws.
That's another tie-in to robotics notes. The solar storm is a big thing in robotics notes. I don't remember exactly how it factors in, but it's significant.
I basically have to hug the big cover to remove it. There's a lot of dust on it, so my clothes might be really dirty. It's too dark to check now, though. I got the cover off.
Think you can manage?
It's too dark to tell. I don't know yet. Other parts are in the way, so I can't see the circuit boards yet.
Just disassemble it then.
He says it like it's easy. It's my first time taking apart a TV. I need to remember the order. I just assemble it in. If I don't, I'm not sure I'll be able to put it back together. It's gonna be a challenge. I have to do it. If not, I won't be able to send the email.
Anchikane.
Just study session going well. What are you doing for dinner? Eating at your friend's house? I'll make something if you're coming back to eat. Please let me know. I need to go home. I can't make the Akiya family worry. Tell them I'll be late because I'm studying at a friend's house. Even telling them a little lie like that really hurts my heart. I don't want to make them worry anymore. I'm on the rooftop, gazing absentmindedly at the sky. To avoid the Eden's detections, I'm as far from the edge as I can get and keeping my head down. I wanted a breath of fresh air after staying in that dusty room for so long. It was getting hard to breathe. In the end, my test results were mixed. My social studies test from day 2 was especially bad, just barely meeting the average score. Yumiko even tried consoling me. I didn't learn my lesson. I even skipped my team activities to be here today. I couldn't help but make a sound. I focus on my fingertips, holding the pen light in my mouth. Soldering irons in my right hand and the solders in my left. Press the two together on the spot of the circuit board I want to solder, creating a little silver ball as the faint smell of melting lead wafts into the air. Yesterday and today, from after school until evening, I've been doing this delicate work in the dark store. 42-inch TV circuit board is really big, too. There are a huge number of spots to solder on them. I've spent several hours on it since yesterday, but I've only resoldered about half. It's because I work so slow. Thinking like that makes me even more tense. I said I'd do this myself, and I think of it as my last chance at sending a email. I'm so nervous that my fingers are shaking. I guess my rooftop break didn't help. A big sigh. I wonder how Uncle Daru's work is coming along. He's almost done. I might end up being cut from the team. Speaking of which, I heard quiet chatter that I can't quite make out coming from upstairs for a while now. But Daru's the only one on the second floor? Is he on the phone? Who's he talking to? Soldering iron's batteries are about to run out, so I'll check while I replace them. When I climb to the second floor, I see Daru reclining on the sofa, not doing his work. He's munching on snacks while talking on the phone.
Yeah, that's right. I can't keep going at this rate. But I refuse. If you think of something, I'm fine with whatever. Hey, give me a break on the budget, lol. Whatever, just take care of it today. Real? Sweet, then you can get Comic Arrow too? Oh, lol. Okay, lol.
You didn't come by to practice today. What happened? Yamanaka-senpai was super mad. Are you feeling under the weather? Want me to come visit? Oh, oops.
He seems to be enjoying himself. He doesn't look like he has an ounce of tension.
Hi, Chanchi.
Hey? He suddenly calls out to me, which makes me jump.
I'm heading outside for a bit.
You're going outside? Can you even get outside? It's been about a week since Daru holed up in here. He hasn't left once since then. It's really difficult for Daru to get his fat body through that tiny bathroom window. It's difficult for me too, since I have to help. Also, aren't they after you, Uncle Daru? They might find you if you walk around outside. What will you do if they catch you?
Oh, Nai-chan, are you worried about me? In that case, please look up at me and beg, don't go any chance to make me stay. I'll stay for life if you do. I'll go need forever. To work is to lose anyway.
Again with this? He always starts joking when he wants to dodge around an issue. I doubt you can get out of here by yourself. Get through that bathroom window, you need me to push you.
And the thought of you touching my butt again makes my chest burn up. That's a reward in my world.
Why do you need to go outside?
Nai-chan-shi, there's one thing you need to remember. Sometimes a guy has to put his life on the line for his ambitions. It's just in our nature, something that girls can never understand.
Putting one's life on the line. Jokey attitude has all but disappeared. Daru looks straight at me with a glint in his eyes. I don't think those are lying eyes. After I push Daru's big butt through the bathroom window, we exit onto the sidewalk from the rear building and head to the station together. After walking for a while, I'm startled to see a man walking towards us from the front. I hurriedly grab Daru by the hand and take cover in the shadow of a staircase past the nearby ramen shop.
Wait, Nai-Chenshi, are you planning to get violent with me in a dark place like this? Like an arrow dojin? Just like an arrow dojin. It's okay, don't stop.
Shh! Forcibly covered Daru's mouth with my hand. An agent came walking towards us.
Really?
I nod. I saw that agent when I came here after school too. He was in a car parked in front of Dad's building then. Why was he walking through here? Can't believe we'd end up running into each other. I watch as the agent passes by the ramen shop and stops in front of the building we've been using to enter and exit. He sits on the sidewalk railing and starts fiddling with his cell phone. He can spot us right away from there if we exit onto the sidewalk. But what's wrong? And what's worse, he might attempt to check on the building. If he goes up to the hallway of the second floor, you can see the extension cord we plugged in to power the lab. He would definitely figure out that Daru's been there. I need to shift his attention.
What do we do?
Uncle Daru speaks up from behind me. I'll distract him, head to the station while I do.
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie? I remember someone using that strange expression before. Okie dokie. This is the part-timer. I only knew her for a short time. I wonder what she's doing now. In the end, I never actually got to ride her bike. With that on my mind, I walk out onto the sidewalk looking nonchalant. Right then, I see the agent put away his cell phone and stand up to enter the building. No! I reflexively speak to him. The agent seems startled and looks in my direction. My heart's pounding. I feel like it's going to come flying out of my mouth. I have to do something. I muster my courage and walk towards the agent.
Who are you?
What should I do if he captures me? If he stabs me? And he's shake. You were around here before, weren't you?
What?
I saw you on the street behind here in front of the Oyama building. I think it was about a month ago.
You got the wrong guy.
I'm the owner of the Oyama building. Why are you hanging around here? Agent goes quiet. Conversation freezes up. I need to keep it going. I need him to stay focused on me. Do you know my dad? I check on the ramen shop out of the corner of my eye. There I see Daru hurrying out to the sidewalk. Did you come to pay your respects or something? In that case, you'd have to go to the cemetery. I don't have a household altar for him right now. I didn't get rid of it though. There's no way I could do that. My mommy's in there. Dad wasn't very religious, so he didn't care, but I want the two of them to be in the same place. It's just, I'm staying with some other people right now, so I
don't care.
Ethan suddenly brushes me aside and tries to walk away. No! If he goes that way, he'll find Daru. Wait! My mind went blank. Not realizing I was standing in the agent's way. You knew my dad, please don't come here anymore. It's really frustrating to have people hanging around. Please.
Damn kid.
And the agent's cell phone rings.
Yes, understood.
The agent gives the person calling him some vague responses and he clicks his tongue at me and walks off in the opposite direction. He shouldn't bump into Daru if he goes that way. You managed to get off scot-free? I don't see Uncle Daru anywhere. After looking around, I weakly crouch down and curl up on the spot. My heart's still racing. I took a few deep breaths. Anyway, I need to contact Daru. We had decided beforehand that if we got split up, we would make contact by phone and find a way to meet up. I tried calling the number that Daru gave me before we left the lab. There's a long silence. Normally you'd hear the ringtone. I tilt my head in puzzlement then.
The number you have dialed is not currently in use. Please check the number and try again.
Huh? I almost stopped breathing. What? I try calling a few more times. And every time I get the currently not in use message. It doesn't make any sense. Did I type in the wrong number when I put him in my phone? I can't believe I'd make a mistake like this. I hate myself. What should I do? I gave Daru my phone number so he might call me eventually. But just in case, should I wait for him at the lab? As I think, I reflexively stand up with a start. I look around. There are lots passing cars and a good number of pedestrians. They'll pass me by without so much as a glance. What should I do if Daru doesn't come back? I tried to start packing up the moment he learned the 42-inch TV didn't work. I stopped him, saying that I could repair it. What if he doesn't believe me? What if he just vanishes? I have no way of contacting him. I can't do anything about it. All I can do is wait. Wait all alone for someone who will never return. I don't want that. Everything I see is dying. All the colors going black and white. Unable to stand it, I desperately hold on to my own body. I'm so anxious, it's crushing me. Am I going to be left alone again? Something happening and ending without me even knowing. Only learning about it later. It's lonely and sad and painful. Of course, there's no guarantee that Daru will never come back. I need to search for him. He couldn't have gone far yet. Sure, I'll find him right away.
And I think that is a pretty good place to cut it. I'm very interested to see where this goes. And just because this is a part of the alpha attractor field that we've never seen before. At least not in game so far, I don't think. But yeah, I'm really excited to see where this goes, and I hope you are too. So for now, thank you all so much for following my playthrough of Steins Gate Linear Bounded Phenogram. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye now!